gonna. I gotta let the music out. That's what you're supposed to do. This has been the most annoying bullshit week when it comes to this football talk. So we got Eagles Cowboys this week. Eagles are 5-0. In case y'all forgot, they haven't lost a fucking game. So pretending like the Eagles aren't even gonna be competitive, or the Cowboys defense is gonna somehow all of a sudden just destroy our offense, which has been extremely good all year. Get the fuck out of here. So we're gonna be, Elwood might show up. 2.0 is gonna be here. Mr. Goody's gonna be hopping on here in a little bit. But dude, get the fuck out of here. I've been listening, and I get it. It's hot take shit, and I guess you could give me a hard time for saying what I do is hot take shit. But bro, the amount of people that I've heard talking about how there's no way in hell that the Eagles are even going to be competitive, or somehow the Cowboys defense is going to just absolutely dismantle and destroy the Eagles offense, like they're not out there putting it on people right now. The Cowboys have not played anybody to the caliber of a team that the Eagles are right now. The closest thing is the Tampa Bay Bucks, and I still think the Bucks don't make the playoffs. I mean, they might win the division because the division's trash. You can make a case about pass interference, and Atlanta got fucked. They're not running away with that division. Newsflash. Newsflash. In case you weren't aware, they're not running away with that division. The Cowboys have not played. Okay, and they're like, well, we played the past two Super Bowl winners. The last people who were in the Super Bowl last year are the same teams that we're playing and this year, and they're shells of themselves. So get the fuck over yourself. Get over yourself. And what's great is they'll be like, well, then the Giants are really good, right? No, man, the Giants suck. Well, they're 4-1, so they got the best record of anybody that the Cowboys have played. Shamble offensive line. Get the fuck out of here. Is it going to be a good game? Sure. Is the Cowboys defense really good on the pass rush? Yes. Have you played a bunch of really bad offensive lines 3 weeks in a row that are anemic as fuck, that everybody has talked about? So they gave up 5 sacks. The Rams gave up, 5 sacks to the Cowboys? They gave up 9 the week before. So I don't know. I feel like their O-line might have played better against the Cowboys than they did the week before. Now, granted, opportunistic defense, big turnovers, a scoop score fumble. You have a block punt. Obviously, there's big plays. Trayvon Diggs is playing pretty good, but when you're playing up against Cooper Kupp, and that's pretty much it, and they got somebody at receiver that they're paying way too much fucking money for, bro, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I gotta go bigger. Like the complete and total disregard for how well of a team the Eagles have been so far this year is absolutely mind-blowing and miraculous. Honestly, I'm concerned about this game, and I think that the Eagles can easily lose this game. I think the Cowboys defense is very good. They create some turnovers if they don't turn the ball over. But you haven't played a defense like the Eagles defense since week 1, and you played like shit, and you had everybody but Michael Gallup. You haven't played 2 corners anywhere near. You played the Giants with a shell of what they had at corner because Bradbury's a bird now. So this whole narrative about how this game's not going to be competitive, or, I think the Cowboys are just going to destroy them. Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're fair weather as fuck. If you've watched these Eagles play, we've got A.J. Brown, 35 receptions, 0 drops all year. The number 1 for the Eagles is better than the number 1 for the Cowboys. The tight end for the Eagles is better than the Cowboys. I like our running game more than I like it for the Cowboys, and we've been leading the league in rushing, or top 3 in rushing, for like the better part of 2.5 years. Suck a dick. Stupid. Sorry, I got to get it out because I've been listening to it all fucking day. I've been listening to it from all sorts of people acting like there's not a chance in the world. Like the Eagles don't stand a chance. In case you forgot, you're not the same team that you guys were last year. So falling back on, well, last year we did this, that literally doesn't mean shit now. Literally doesn't mean shit because we're not the same team either. So, just saying. So all you Cowboys fans, going to be a good game. Get the fuck over yourselves. You've played 3 anemic offensive lines. You've played 1 offensive team, I guess, in the Bucks that are a shell of themselves too. And they're missing people. They're a shell of themselves. They're fucking missing people. And then it was just field goal city against them for your offense. Your defense is going to be good. Your offense against our defense is not going to be some wash where you're just going to be able to just trounce down the field and put it on this Birds defense. Get out of here. Stupid. 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 Ugh. And yeah, you're 4-1. Cool. Haven't really played anybody in the sense that like the teams that you've played you're supposed to beat. And I know they say the Eagles have the easiest schedule in the fucking league right now. What the Cowboys have the third easiest. We're from the same division. And if you have a little bit tougher games, it's because they put you on prime time when you don't deserve it. It's going to take a lot more than 102 yards from Cooper feeling the rush, 102 passing yards to beat the Eagles defense. If you think that they can put out that offensive performance, expect that type of running game on big burst plays and get that short field to let Cooper Rush do his thing, man. That's my buddy. And I still believe in my conspiracy that Cooper Rush is secretly going to end up being Jason Garrett's replacement. Like there's going to be some weird fucking, like he's a Jason Garrett clone from the future that we don't know about yet, and like in 12 years he'll be the offensive coordinator, coach in waiting, or some crazy bullshit like that. Oh, I digress. Actually angry about that because I've been listening to this shit all day, and the complete and total, like, I'm thankful for the disrespect, honestly, because like we've watched the Eagles team win 5 games. Yes, and not every team's great, but to go in and beat Detroit in Detroit after Hard Knocks, punched in the mouth, down 14, come back and win that, almost lose it in the end, and then still hold on. And then, yeah, they beat the Cardinals, a playoff team from last year, with a wild, crazy-ass offense. Yes, they're missing pieces, but they've been running the ball well. Hollywood Brown's been playing well, and they create a lot of space and make it difficult for linebackers and make it difficult for the defensive linemen to really get after the quarterback or drop back in coverage, because you always got to keep an eye on the quarterback, right? I think the Cardinals are, in my opinion, better than the Rams. So I don't know. Get over yourself. And yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today. A lot of it's going to be Cowboys Eagles. I'm not going to lie. Angry Black Quarterback, episode 6, just Eagles versus Cowboys. I tried to come up with 1,000 different names for this episode, and I just settled on something fucking basic. We're going to have Mr. Goody on here in a second. I want to play one more thing before you come in. I always got to play these clips because they've been good, and I add a new one every week. So we got to get into the Go Birds. Because we are 5-0, in case you forgot. Number 1, 5-0, $39 million in cap space, the number 3 overall pick next year right now. Or this one. This is so good. I need to clip this. Go Eagles. Go Eagles. Dude, I need some backstory on this, just strictly because he's obviously getting arrested and he's done something to be on the news. So it's like, do I play it? Is it worth it? And it's from Barstool, so it could be moderately controversial. But go Eagles. Let's go. Well, we will get into Draymond Green. This is from the other day. I really liked this one. Likes us, we don't care. We're fulfilling fucking Philly. No one likes us, we don't care. And I mean, not to be a dick, but I don't think anyone's really afraid of Cardinals fans. There was so many people at this game. Like, they completely blotted this place out. It's a question on if Milton Williams tipped this or not, but yeah, fuck them. We'll get into that in a second. Where is it? I thought I had another one. Or maybe it was just that one. But no, we're gonna chat about the Draymond Green punch. Of course, we have to talk about that. I guess we can touch on baseball. Right now, it's kind of boring. There's been some good games, but I don't know. Fuck baseball. I need a baseball correspondent for that shit. A lot of bad holding calls, and I did find this amazing like Super Mario thing where don't do drugs, and this is big. PSA.
Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Oh, and also shout out, I'll get, Goody, you can hop on whenever you want now. In Dallas, there's this legendary zoo-themed McDonald's, and it's undergoing renovations, and they're getting rid of the zoo, the like jungle-themed McDonald's in Dallas, which if you've ever been out to it, like that's wild. I can't believe they're actually getting rid of that shit. But yeah, apparently there's going to be no more jungle McDonald's. Not that it has anything to do with sports or that Mario clip, but I saw it and they were too good to not bring up and discuss. Who is the winner? Oh, are you there? Are you here? Hello? Is there anybody in there? All right, everybody. Well, look, we got him here early this time. I like this early thing, but we got Mr. Goody in the house, rocking the Eagles gear. Oh, they're cheering. The girls are whistling for you. Oh my goodness, they love the goods. Oh, because I layer the clap. I play the clap, then I play the cheer. It's gold. You know, it's like they get excited and they're real excited. Like, oh man.
Well, you know about me and the clap already.
Yeah,
anyways,
that's true.
I need, like, this is the first time I've come in early. Usually I have to like log in after you've already started. Yeah. I need to get a notebook, like, of how many things I have to respond in your monologue.
Well, my monologue is just for me to rant and for me to like I got it. Yeah, but I mean, fuck this shit, dude. Like, if you want,
but no, calm down. Okay, I just let me go down the list here.
Don't you tell me.
Okay. I mean, you're the angry black quarterback. I get it.
I think that might be the most angry, like annoyed I've been.
But I'm telling you, like, that you were in this weird bubble in like the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Like, there's nobody talking shit about the Eagles out here in LA. Like I think you're just like surrounded by Cowboys bullshit that, like, you know, you're listening to 710 ESPN or whatever the fuck it is.
Bruh.
Like, oh no, they banned ESPN, right? Like,
yeah, now it's just the ticket. There's like the ticket. Yeah. There's one, bro. Like, I think I told you they were like, we went to Saudi Arabia and had the best time, and they treat women perfectly. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, and then I found the other one that I guess, but I think they're both owned by the same people. So yeah. There's like this.
Okay, but let me just bring some facts in here, some numbers. The Eagles are tied with the Chiefs for second most likely to win the Super Bowl at plus 650, only behind the Buffalo Bills at plus 400. So the Chiefs and the Eagles are tied for second. But then guess what? Who's the next in line? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who you say are going to miss the playoffs.
Garbage, dude. Tampa sucks, bro. Tampa is not good.
Vegas has them fourth right now.
Garbage. Tampa is not their defense, and this is the whole thing, and this is what's pissing me off about this Cowboys shit. And we can talk about it with Tampa too as well. Like, these teams that have great defenses and they pretend like these anemic offenses are somehow better than they are. Like we can't sit here and say they're like, oh, Cowboys are just, and this is on like ESPN and all these other stupid asshole hot take people saying, oh, well, the Cowboys are just gonna run away with it. I'm like, are you fucking? How can you even say that right now? I have them pulled up. I mean, I'm not. I can put them up on the screen. The Eagles have 122 total first downs to the 79. 79 across these games for the Dallas Cowboys. Opponents against them, they have 90 first downs for the Cowboys. For the Eagles, 99. So there's 9 more first downs. That's a pretty big lopside. We have literally, at their rate, an entire game's worth of more first downs and ball control. Right? 122 to 79. We have 122 first downs to their 79. And we've only given up 9 more first downs than them to their opponents. But our defense is trash. Get out.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of that, and a lot of that was in game one versus Detroit, because that was like
we gave up a shit ton.
It was like a barn burner, yeah. So it might be skewed a little bit. Also, you said you're not into baseball.
I
But
am,
however, the Phillies are
Mhm.
playing right now. But who did the Phillies beat? 2-0? The Cardinals.
Yeah,
Who did the Eagles beat this weekend? The Cardinals. This could be considered a hate crime on Cardinals.
that's true. I guess I didn't even think about it that way. We almost need to chill out. I always root for the Phillies, go Phillies, but that's not like really my big thing. But I mean, they're good. Phillies are
Yeah.
good. It's just right now it's like all
Yes.
baseball and it's all these like 2-game series and it's all being drawn out and I fucking hate the Astros and I hate how like even like the cheat stros or whatever you want to fucking call them. But then the fact that Astro fans are like, oh yeah, no, we like that we cheated. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Astros fans are worse than Patriots fans. You heard it here first. Astros fans are so much worse because they're like, yeah, we'll bring my own trash can to bang on it. Anything to help out. Get the fuck out of here. Clown shoes. All of you. I'm pissed, dude. I'm fucking pissed right now.
I cannot believe like the shit that you have to listen to in Texas because the Astros are in Texas. I hate them too, dude. Like in LA, trust me, they hate them, dude, because we lost a World Series because they fucking cheated until we beat them in the World Series. But so the Astros are number one enemy out here in LA for sure. But I mean, at the same time, like nobody's talking about like I'll bring
No,
out
but it's the what I'm
fans and
saying
bang
is,
them.
what I'm saying is it's you see and it's like, oh, we talked to I don't know, they'll find like the one thing Herschel Walker can talk about is like, oh, and I feel like the defense. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. The complete disregard and disrespect. And that's why I said I'm almost thankful for it. I think it's gonna play into that Eagles defense and being like wanting to get the fuck after people. It's not like they don't get after people. Like that's it's absolutely mind blowing. So total rushing 588 yards. That we have 500, or we have we have 800 total rushing yards. They have 579. They have 800 to their 579.
I mean,
Total passing yards by the Eagles offense 1,359. Dallas Cowboys 973. At the rate that we saw Cooper Rush play last week, that's at least 4 more games he's got to play to match on. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying their defense isn't bad, but the disregard and disrespect for the Eagles defense that has more, that is like 2 behind in sacks, has more forced fumbles. We have like 6 or 7 forced fumbles. We beat the Jags because our D-line created 4 offensive fumbles. Or 5 and got 4 of them back. You think
No, it was 4 fumbles, got them all back, and then we got an interception as well.
Yeah, and then you don't think Hassan Riddick isn't going to be chomping his chops to get the fuck after Cooper Rush?
I mean,
sorry,
you know, like when we get to the bets, you'll see that that I agree with you. However,
it's been a week, man.
it's gonna be a fucking brawl, like a bar room. Like no holds barred brawl. Like this is gonna be a real fucking game.
I think it will be, but I think that there's
Micah Parsons gonna have something to say.
I think Micah Parsons, yeah, okay, that's fine. And I think that Lane Johnson, who hasn't given up a sack, knock on wood, in like 1,500 snaps, is going to be lined up right next to him. So like to say that they've gone up against an offensive line or a running game or a passing game or a defense like the Eagles are putting on the field right now is a fucking lie. And to say that they've played somebody, because who's better, the Giants or the Vikings? Who would you rather have? Whose offense is better? Who has better
Giants.
Really? You think? I mean, because I'm saying,
100%.
okay, but do you think that if we could shut down CD Lamb, we can't shut down CD Lamb, if we can't shut down Justin Jefferson, who's exponentially better, in my opinion, than CD Lamb at getting open, because he got shut the fuck down that one game, and the next week in London, he had 160 yards and ran for a touchdown. Like so, and then crushed it again last week.
I think Justin Jefferson is arguably one of the best receiver in the league. I mean, like, you know, you could talk about Jamar Chase or the Slim Reaper, but
Slim Reaper route runner. Slim Reaper's route runner, yeah. But AJ Brown now the
AJ Brown is
the big Reaper,
right
Reaper. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
But I mean, I think that game that the Eagles played the Vikings, I think everybody who was coaching and playing in that game all went out and did like fucking like cocaine and got drunk and that like the night before, like they did not, like there was something wrong with that whole presentation by the Vikings in that Eagles game. Like I know like we're good, but like I would not blame Justin Jefferson
No,
for.
but I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I think obviously, I agree. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a tough game for all teams involved, and I don't think that anybody's going to run away with it. But if one team is going to run away with it, I don't think it's the fucking Cowboys. To sit there and say that they have the offensive firepower, have shown the offensive consistency, or have played somebody else who puts up the same consistency as we have on the road, at home. We played a shitty game in the weather against a team that shut out the Colts and then beat the Chargers, who I have not making the playoffs. But some people still think that they're not healthy. I just think they're going to fall apart. I think I was right in saying the Chiefs have to. It's the Chiefs to lose. I have to see it to believe it. I have to see the Cowboys play a team like us and dominate them like they have everyone else. Our line is better than the Rams, who are on their fifth string center and like a third string guard. That's not the same because yeah, they have some players. So you better be eating. You better be eating mad sacks when you're playing against the Bengals, who have a defunct offensive line, the Rams, who have a shitty offensive line. And the only reason that Micah Parsons against probably the worst offensive line is Daniel Jones and the Giants, and that's because Daniel Jones ran around in circles all day. And that's the only reason he didn't get a sack is because he was running like a madman.
Oh, which Jalen will do if he needs to, but he doesn't have to. He's like learning to throw from the pocket now.
Mm-hmm.
And the game's in Philly.
Yeah, I hope it's shitty and cold as fuck and miserable.
They had to delay. Well, I guess this was in Atlanta, the Phillies Braves game, but they had to delay that for rain. But yeah, I mean.
Sorry, I threw a lot at you. I'm just very opinionated on
it. Before I forget, the last thing I was going to say was you were saying the Buccaneers Falcons, the Falcons could complain about like a pass interference call. It was actually
roughing the passer.
Exactly.
Yeah, roughing the passer. I have the clips. I'll pull them up.
I thought you said pass interference.
Oh, that's my bad. Roughing the passer. There was a couple.
That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like when Brady started like arguing immediately before his like ass was on the ground, like I was like,
dude, there's multiple clips of Tom Brady like trying to kick the shit out of people, and this is what I'm talking about. If you watch that play, whenever he gets taken to the ground, he like kicks and flails his leg up like he's trying to kick him, dude. Like get the fuck out of here, TB12. Go take some ginkgo and some Centrum Silver and sit the fuck down. If you play sports and you act like that when you play any type of recreational sports, you would not be playing sports. You are literally watching like one of the most privileged athletes in the history of sports go out there and literally be a poor sport and what we would deem in every other circumstance a bad fucking teammate. And he gets a pass. It's so obnoxious.
Not only that pass, he got a fucking 15-yard penalty in his favor when nothing even actually happened. I would have like kept my knee on like the side of his face, like as I was getting up. Like, you know, it's like calm the fuck down, you 45-year-old bitch. Like you got sacked. I'm sorry you got sacked, but and then it won them the game.
Yeah, and then talk about reactionary. So we see what happens to Tua, and they're like, "Oh no!" And now there was another one. There was two of those plays where someone, it was David Carr, was taken to the ground by Chris Jones of the Chiefs, and they threw a flag on it. Literally, it's a fucking sack. He hits him before he throws the ball and takes it from him, like sack strip, and goes to the ground and is like in the process of tackling him to the ground. Flag, roughing the passer. You can't. Sacking the quarterback is not roughing the passer. And caveat, man, Micah Parsons is the most interesting Twitter follow ever because all that guy does is complain about refs 24/7. And like,
I didn't know that. I thought he was like really like reserved.
Bro, so ridiculous to watch how much this guy bitches about it under the guise of like, oh, like all he does is complain. We talked a couple episodes before when he played Tampa and he got that chip block and it was a clean block. He's like, dude, I mean, oh my gosh. Like, and I get it. You're super talented. I'm not denying your ability. You're a great player. I think you're a great leader for that locker room. But fuck, man, quit complaining on Twitter, dude. You're like, they just need to make a Yelp. If there was a Yelp for refs, he would be a fucking Grandmaster Traveler or whatever the fuck they call those people that just have 1,000 badges and he would have a bajillion reviews because all he does is complain about refs. All he does.
That's weird because I really thought he was like a keep to myself kind of guy and like just fuck people up.
Putting clips of himself up, being like, "How is this not a hold? You guys gotta be better." Da da da. And it's like, dude,
where's Goodell? Like he'd be like, "Yo, you can't do this."
Hey man, it's free speech, and once Elon Musk buys Twitter, I can say whatever I want on there.
No, like you can't like publicly shame NFL employees for their job. Like, I think that's probably in the fucking rules. It's like think about how many times like a coach gets fined for saying some wild shit about a ref, like at a press conference. What's the difference on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's just like it's really frustrating. Dallas Cowboys. Nah, man. I mean, they're good, but get out of here. Get out of here.
It's gonna be like that much more sweet, like when we beat them.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Because the defense is that good.
They're setting themselves up for it. They have less than 1,500 total yards of offense. We have 2,100 yards of total offense. Like that's completely different. And we've given up less yards in all of our games than they have total.
Do you think that
their opponents? Oh my god! And their opponents have more total offensive yards than they do for the year.
Do you think Cooper Rush unravels if Slay picks him off like twice?
And that be tough, man. And we're +9 in turnover differential, and they're +5. They're get out of here. Get the fuck out of here, brah.
But again, like I think it's only in Texas that people are talking about that the Cowboys are going to win this game. Like Vegas isn't.
Oh, I know. It's not just here in Texas. It's these pundits. And just this delusional.
You only get Texas.
No, if I listen to like ESPN or something, or watch one of those guys, or like NFL Network, they're all like, "Oh, I really think the Cowboys are going to get this." I'm like, that's so disrespectful. And honestly, that plays right into the hands of the defense who will want to crush them.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think that they're professionals and they already want to fuck them up, so they don't need like Skip Bayless like talking about Cooper Rush or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like to get motivated.
So I'm gonna pull these clips up real quick. This is what we were talking about on these roughing the passers. Like Atlanta was putting it on them. I got copyright claimed last episode for sound clips. But Grady Jarrett comes in, gets a clean sack, takes him to the ground, follows through. You can see Tom Brady do his little leg kick like a little bitch. But he takes him to the ground, doesn't hit his head on the ground or anything like that, and flails up his leg right here, kicks at him. He gets called for roughing the passer, which was just absolutely brutal. And the other one above it is where David Carr is. So you can see if you're, you can't see, and listeners, y'all can't, but there's a strip sack before he throws the ball, sacks him, takes him to the ground, and that was considered roughing the passer. I mean, the Chiefs ended up winning that game because the Raiders, someone I thought might make the playoffs, making me look like an ass, lost by a point. Of course, it's like good teams win those close ones, bad teams lose those close ones. And man, they blew that fucking game really bad. Devontae Adams shoved. I mean, you saw that where Devontae Adams shoved that Mike, that like freelance photographer / sound guy, and he just got charged with misdemeanor assault today.
For that?
Yeah, that dude filed charges against him in bodily injury. Dude, that's a check. The moment that dude got pushed by Devontae Adams, that guy just got paid how much money to go to the Raiders? With the amount of PR problems though those guys have, the ghost of Al Davis Pass would show up and be like, "Take this check." Because they're just like, the Raiders have just been a garbage dumpster fire organization and personnel. Not saying that Devontae Adams is, but overall optics of it looks bad because they've had so many other issues with other players and stuff that dude got charged. That dude filed charges. He's charged with criminal misdemeanor assault.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ridiculous.
But also,
I'm not shocked.
No, I don't know if it's ridiculous or not. Because I mean, like in a normal setting, I guess that is what that is, right? But
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, but yeah, like what you were saying was like their fucking head coach had to get fired like for being racist. Their first round draft pick, Ruggs, who killed people like while driving drunk. Like this is all within the last
And
12
not
months.
to mention the other Arnett, the corner. So they had 3 first-round picks, and they took him. They took Ruggs. They took Jonathan Davis, or Jonathan Abrams as a safety, I believe, and then they took Alex Leatherwood was another first-round pick. All these first-round picks they've taken in the past like 5 years, most of them aren't even on the fucking team.
I know, but
Arnett
I was
was
just
the
talking
same
about the
draft.
controversy.
Yeah, but
I was just
Arnett
talking
was
about
the
the
same.
controversy.
Arnett was the same draft. He was a corner, and he was getting in some social media beef and posted all these videos of him like threatening to shoot this guy. And he got cut maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after that Ruggs accident because he was making like threats, being like, "Come to my house and I'll do yada yada yada" with guns and stuff. And he got kicked off the team. So they lost both of those first-round picks from the same draft.
Well, and then also Devontae Adams, who now is charged for assaulting this guy.
Yeah.
He like posted on Twitter that he was like he admitted to like doing it, even though it's already on camera. We already know.
Yeah.
But like he already admitted to doing it on Twitter. He like did some sort of like half apology. And so now he's like definitely fucked. Like that's how you have to like get a settlement, because it's like, bro, we have it on camera. You've just admitted to it on Twitter. Give me $1 million.
Well, yeah, and that's where it's kind of like the guy who caught that 61st or 61st
60 seconds.
the 61st home run and gave it back.
Nobody
to him.
caught it. Oh well, that was the guys they were in the bullpen who got it.
Yeah. So the guy in the bullpen who got it and just gave it to him and was like, "Here you go, da da da." And his girlfriend was like, "What the fuck, bro?" Or his wife.
They played for the other team, and it was like they thought about.
Yeah, okay, but what I'm saying is that guy getting shoved, if he chooses to not file charges and try to get some sort of monetary gain from it, that might be the largest sum of money that guy gets at once in his whole life, depending on. And I'm just talking about, obviously, should be charged. That is legally speaking, that is definitely assault. But what I'm saying is, if he doesn't choose to do that, he's like the guy who gave the baseball back. He's walking away from like more money than he can probably fathom if he wanted to play hardball.
What would you do?
I'd charge his ass, dude. I'd fucking be like, all right, bro. I'd come up with a realistic number, but yeah, I would want a public apology. I wanted to be like a ESPN 30 for 30 or something. I'd milk it, bro. If I got shoved, yeah, dude. If I got pushed, if I was walking around and Aaron Donald just like punched me in the face all drunk or something, yeah, bro.
Well, that's a way bigger deal, because Aaron Donald could kill you by punching you. However, I would tell somebody in the affiliated, he needs to hand me like $25,000 in cash, and we'll never talk about this again. I wouldn't definitely not like actually sue him.
No, but I mean, he's gonna try
just
to
hand me a bag before you leave the locker room, and we're good.
No, but I mean, because it's gonna be open ended. He's gonna say like, "Hey, being shoved like that and being made a meme and it was embarrassing." So there's gonna be like pain and suffering.
Yeah, but that's a lot of that. I know, but that's a lot of work, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
I'd rather just go home with 25 G's and then never think about it again.
Yeah, but if that's your argument, they'll probably be like, "No, you have to be like," or if you don't, this is what I'm gonna say.
I'm doing it out of a court of law. I'm doing it like, in the locker room that night. I think that's the move, because then you don't have to deal with shit after that.
I'd want more than 25 G's, because then you'd have to quit. You'll never talk about it again for 25 grand. People are going to ask you, like, "Aren't you that guy that got shoved?" You can't talk about it. Driving this Kia Sorento, because you spent it all on like a Kia. I don't know.
Kias are kind of
25 G's. No, they drive around 25 grand. Get you a nice ass fucking new Kia, man. Those are nice. But I'm saying, but you wouldn't want. But I'm just saying, you'd have to have the threat of pursuing it. You'd have to strong arm him into giving you the money.
No, because he already recognized that he was fucked. Like when he tweeted how he like felt bad about what he did, like unprompted. So he already had a guilty conscience. You're like, yeah, dude, this shit's gonna go viral.
Yeah, see, I would guess I'd need more, because I'd want to vanish.
Well, yeah, okay.
You need to vanish.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you couldn't work there. I wouldn't want to be as known as the guy who got shoved by Devontae Adams and isn't allowed to talk about it. That's impossible.
Well, think about like all the time these cameramen get like hit like when somebody just like is going out of bounds, accidentally.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happened to him, except for it was like even less violent than that.
Was it even like that? He was walking in front. I bet you that guy said "excuse me" because he realized they crossed paths. They were trying to go. He was trying to get to the other
Well,
side. Of the
that's
tunnel.
my point is though that people get knocked over all the fucking time that do his job, and he got pushed in a different circumstance, but he was fine.
I'd want
You know?
I'd want 100 G's so I could quit.
Okay,
and go find
okay.
a new job. 25
100
grand's too little, man.
Hundred's not even close to enough for me to quit my job.
Well, no, but in that, if I was just the sideline dude, I could find another sound gig somewhere. You obviously have good credentials if you're working for him, and I'd be like, I want to resign, and have good references. 100K, I'm out the door. Because you're working, because you're doing sound for what, ESPN and ABC, so Disney. You're getting paid to do that shit.
Well, you might have been working for the NFL.
Even then, you're still getting paid.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
NFL Films is a real fucking thing.
I'm like, give me a little slice of that fucking Amazon money you got, and we're good. We're straight.
Was that?
I want 0.00025% of.
No, that was Monday Night Football, so it was ESPN, right? Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Well, the only one that's not now is Thursday Night Football. When they were
Right.
like, these guys are monopolizing the broadcasting of football, and it's like, I guess. Okay, NFL
What?
Network.
There's Fox, CBS, NFL Network.
Well, I mean the prime time,
Amazon,
the prime time slot.
Peacock.
Does-
That's how I watch Sunday Night Football.
I was like,
which the
Nickelodeon.
Eagles and Cowboys will be on.
I was like Nickelodeon, man. Nickelodeon, you get the slime zone.
No, I watch it on Peacock because I cut the cord on me.
I cut the cord. I'm only streaming now. The only cord I got is to my router. Don't write down my password. It's secret.
Yeah, I got some umbilical cords, in the mix.
Jesus Christ. Did you ever realize... You know what's funny is the original password you get with your router is probably like the toughest thing you can come up with. Because it's like lowercase ampersand. You're like, what the fuck? And then you'll be like, I love cats. 37. And you're like, yes.
I was actually just thinking about that because I have a work computer now, and they came up with a password for me, and it's like complicated as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I surprised myself the other day that I had memorized it, but I'm like, there's no reason for me to change this because nobody's ever gonna like figure this out.
Yeah, like I got it.
And I memorized it, so we're good.
That's not gonna happen. All right, what are you there, Joe? Hello, Joe. We'll play a little jazz while we wait for Joe. See if he's popping up.
You're supposed to play the morning dew.
Whoa, man, your face.
South Dakota in the house.
Let's go.
All right, well, he's here. He's made it, everybody. It's 2.0. The Robot Man Extraordinaire. Ooh, ladies are cheering for you, too. Wow, I like that lap. I like that overlap.
Would it be 1.0 if he was in North Dakota? Is it 2.0 because he's like, in the second Dakota?
Yeah, he's just like
North Dakota is a big downgrade.
Ooh, shots fired, dude. Shots fired on the Dakota, dude. Dang.
Fracking didn't sell you? Fracking didn't sell you?
And also, we got to give a big boo for your shitty ass Broncos, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. They're really bad.
They're really bad. Hey, our bet on them in the under hit last week, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, loving them for gambling reasons is different than loving them because you're a fan, because they're pretty bad right now.
Yeah, I thought we would have a decent season, but that's not going to be the case.
Anything can turn around, And what the best part was after the end of his press conference, he was like, "Broncos country." He's like, "Broncos, let's ride." Like said it as he was walking away from the podium. It's like, dude, stop fucking saying that. You sound ridiculous. But how's life? How's the world? How's the college life treating you?
Oh, it's going good. We went out to University of Kansas this past weekend to visit our chapter out there.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. College game day was there for the TCU Kansas game.
Yeah.
So that was like really cool to get to see like that atmosphere, get to see a Power 5 football game. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good game, and they were both undefeated. Oh, and I guess real quick, fuck Oklahoma. They got destroyed.
Texas.
Yeah, by Texas. It was their comeuppance. I loved watching that. So thank you. I'm not even like that diehard into either team, but that was so great to watch, and that affects a lot of like the traffic flow for what my job is, and it was like really rocking. And then once it was over, it was like ghost town. Like everything kind of cleared out. Everybody just basically wanted to get the fuck back to Norman because it was brutal slaying of the Sooners.
Was that at the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, so that's like at the State Fair.
Yeah.
Shout out State Fair. I'll be all up in you next Tuesday. Let's go. Shout out. State Fair's tight, man.
Pregnant.
Yeah, dude. Big Tex, come on, man. You gotta go check out Big Tex. Howdy, folks. Like that's the shit.
Shout out fried Snickers.
Oh, dude, there's like fried BLTs now. There's all sorts of weird shit. Someone's
Oh,
like,
that's called the Monte Cristo, isn't it?
right? That's what I said. But it has to have the like habanero like jam or whatever, that spicy pepper jam you put on it. But that's like crack, dude. The Monte Cristo is literally like a heart failure in like just a to-go box from Bennigan's. Man, that was some rowdy ass shit. And it was like a $15 sandwich back in like 96. I was like, ooh, I want that. My dad's like, fuck no, you can't have that. That's expensive as shit. You better sit the fuck down. Like, you didn't talk about that.
The Irish need to get their money, dude.
Dude, Monte Cristo, gang all day. All right, well, let's get into these picks. Let's recap. How did you do on your bets last week, Mr. Goods?
Okay, I had this all lined up, and then I went outside and I forgot my phone. But
We can let him go first.
No, well, my long shot parlay, I think I remember it. Got blown the fuck up. Like the Lions got a shutout, and then there's another team that didn't do so well. But again, I still have not won anything in my bets. However, in the 5-team favorite parlay, every single one of them won except for the Jags versus the Texans. And I had been riding the Texans this whole season, and I decided to pick the Jaguars in that game because otherwise it would have had to be, if I picked the Texans, it would have had to be in part of the long shot.
Yeah.
Because they were, yeah. So I had 4 out of 5 on the parlay, but again, if you miss one, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
that was the last one. Damn.
Yeah, but I feel good about this week's.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on.
I always feel good though.
Well, since your phone's inside, we'll get into Mr. Joseph. Let's go over recap your stuff 2.0, and then we will I got to play your sound effect because you love your sound effect. Okay, there is a sound effect for it. Well, I played it when you came in, and then I'm trying to I try to just, I don't know, I'm just fucking around with this thing. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed today about all of this fucking bird shit talking. But let's get into your recap.
The angry black quarterback.
Hey, dude, don't be racist, dude. Come on, now, dude.
No, you're
don't be
you're
racist,
on,
dude. Now
you're
you're
on
getting booed.
brand.
You're getting booed.
Because I named you.
No,
I'm just talking shit. The name of your podcast.
No, I'm just kidding. Nah, they love it. They appreciate your sentiment. Now you're getting clapped and cheered. They love you. I take it back. I'm sorry. I'm just playing into my moniker, but fuck, I'm mad. Well, let's get into let's recap all of your stuff. Also, did you have anything to say about these roughing the passer penalties we discussed, or Tom Brady being a little Weasley whiny bitch?
I think so I didn't see the one on Tom Brady, but the one in the Chiefs-Raiders game Monday night, that was bad.
You saw when I was saying,
it's not like he did it on purpose. He just went to tackle him, and then his full body weight happened to fall on the quarterback.
Yeah. How dare I? I'm a large, 330-pound mega athlete who's 6'5", and I was running towards someone full speed and hit them, and I took them to the ground. What are you talking about? That was so stupid. That one is honestly, in some ways, worse because he strips him of the ball. He takes it. So he's just trying to get down at that point. He's trying to secure the ball. He's not even worried about David Carr. I'm watching it right now. He strips it, grabs it, Carr goes down, and he's literally trying to secure the ball and, make sure that he doesn't lose it. Oh, man, that's so stupid. All right, well, let's get into your picks. How did we do last week?
All right, so overall went 3-2, up 1.5 units. I think that's the first week we've made money, so that's good.
Let's
That's good.
go.
Fuck your robot.
So breaking them down individually. So Chargers at the Browns. Browns +3 hits. Browns almost had a chance to win at the end of the game, but then Jacoby Brissett threw an interception, but it didn't matter because they still covered. Interesting fact about the Browns: they have led every single game going into the fourth quarter. They're only 2-3 on the season. So they really want to see Deshaun Watson back.
Do you think that he puts them over the top?
I think so. They
You
got
think
a
so?
solid running game. Their defense, they're not elite, but they're solid.
They have elite pieces. You could say they're elite pieces. They're like 2 or 3 pieces away from being just as good as any other top 5 defense that's out there.
Well, Deshaun likes it over the top. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but on defense, just defensive unit
No,
alone.
I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, very nice. I think that's too soon, but all right. So we hit on that one.
He hit on Kenny Pickett over 0.5 interceptions.
Genius.
Still threw for 327 yards, which was impressive to see. I think if the Steelers can fix their O-line issues and they can get TJ Watt back, I think they'll be decent this year. Lions at Patriots. We got
Hold on. I have to interrupt here. Did you just say that you think the Steelers are going to be decent this year? Because I think they might be the worst team in the fucking league.
If they can fix their O-line and if they can get TJ Watt back.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair. Yeah, because I mean, they were a playoff team last year, right?
They look bad.
Well, yeah, they definitely look bad. You're out there starting a rookie who some people were questioning why you took him in the first round, thought he might slip even more. Some people thought he was a top 10 pick, and he's out there wearing gloves all day. Kenny Pickett's a good dude, and he definitely he's playing good without Mr. Hackett because they thought the Broncos were going to draft him because that was his college coach, is the coach of the Broncos, correct? So I mean, they have weapons. They have good skill position players. They have a former first round pick and running back who's really good, who's not that far removed from it, who's not probably getting closer. Probably closer. He's closer to his floor than he is a ceiling in Najee Harris. So I could see them being competitive. That's a bad division.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the Ravens, and the Ravens look really inconsistent right now.
Okay, but like, do you think let's say they make the playoffs somehow? You think they're winning a playoff game? No.
No, I mean, but I think that when you look at who they're with, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and Browns, yeah, I could see them. Like, you could make a case for. You'd have to make a case for any of those teams for me right now. The Ravens are good, but they're one of the worst defenses in the league. They have a lot of turnovers. They give up a lot of shit, and they're super inconsistent. And if you line up against them with a big physical defense that can stop their run and has some speed, I don't like their weapons outside the numbers to get open. Their best receiver is like their tight end, right? And Andrews.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like poor man's Kelsey.
Yeah, but if you put the Ravens against the Bucs defense, that's a close game because the way that Levante David and Devin White would match up against Andrews, they'd swallow him alive. And Carlton Davis would be all over Bateman, and I'm not even that big of a Carlton Davis fan at corner for the Bucs. He'd smother them. They'd be all over him. Their pass rush would just get in their face. That if you can spy him and keep up with him, it makes it really difficult. And that's where there's a lot of defenses that match up to stop the Ravens, and that's why we've seen them sputter. Or whenever teams make adjustments in the second half, they lose leads. I think they've blown 2 17-point leads this year. Is it 2?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought we were talking about the Steelers.
No, I'm saying you can make a case for any of those teams. I'm saying most people would say, oh, the Ravens are a shoo-in. They have Lamar Jackson, no contest, they win the division. And I'm saying, well, hold on. We're seeing reasons why they're inconsistent. No one's really ran away with that division at all. Their division is just as bad as the AFC West, except there's no Chiefs in it.
Okay, well, I'm not arguing with that. What I'm trying to say is, let's say the Steelers win the fucking division, which I doubt hard. But let's say they do. They're not winning in the first round, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you can make a case that nobody from that division's winning a first round.
That's what that was going to be my other point.
Yeah, I think that if the Bucs make the playoffs, they don't win a playoff game. Like, you can't convince anybody who comes out of that. I don't think they win a playoff game, even if they win the division. I think they're going to go up against somebody else who's going to smack them in the mouth.
Maybe.
Personally, I could see the Vikings smacking them in the mouth, especially if the Vikings go to them and it's nice and sunny. I could see Dalvin Cook having a big game, or their offensive weapons slicing them up. I'm just saying. All right, get to your teaser. Sorry, teaser time.
Oh, also going back real quick, we had the Lions at the Patriots. Lions team total over 20.5 was not close. They got blanked by the Pats. Props to Bill Belichick, I guess. Like, he's been doing this for like 50 years. It's the reason he's the best coach in the league.
How many more years do you think he's got 2.0?
Depends on how Mac Jones does. Like, if he thinks Mac Jones is like the future of the franchise, I think he has 6, 7, 8 years. But if he doesn't believe in Mac Jones, I think 3, 4, maybe 5 years.
So either way, he's in it for at least another like couple cycles.
Do you guys believe in Mac Jones? Because I think a lot of people did, and then all of a sudden it was like,
No, I think that he's like smart. As far as implementing an offense with a rookie quarterback last year, he was the most like ready, like pro ready. Come in the league, I can read the defenses, I understand, I can make some kind of different calls, I can have a different cadence and change stuff up. He was the most pro ready, like just coming out of like the classroom. So whenever they were able to implement an offense last year, I think it was more sophisticated than people thought it would be. But even if you're with a rookie quarterback, your offense is super simplified. The offense with Pickett and with Trubisky is simplified, but with the Steelers, that offense is more simplified with Kenny Pickett than it is Mitchell Trubisky. So no matter how much more limited Trubisky might be in his decision making, he understands the system better. And I think that we see that we're, it just, you can see that effect. So with Mac Jones now, they got more tape on him. People understand where he's more limited, and that offense is he's still trying to. He might understand the different reads, but people understand his weaknesses, and they're able to exploit them with a whole year's worth of tape.
Are we sure that Zappy's not better?
But Zappy could be. But Zappy was more of a chuck the ball, the fuck around. He probably throws a prettier deep ball and has better placement. But he didn't play against the same level of competition. So that's like, does like in college. So like to the pedigree of which
isn't he from Georgia or where
no? He played at Western Kentucky, if I remember.
Oh, that's right.
So he was great, and he lit it the fuck up. And I love him. I was like, oh shit, yeah, they're gonna start him, and he chucks the ball around. That's what he does. But it's like it's the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Whenever he was playing at the same school that Tony Romo went to, Eastern Illinois, he just chucked the fucking ball around all the time. That's all that dude did. So he can make really good reads. Or you look at Harvard, whenever they had Fitzpatrick, he just chucked the fucking ball around. He just chucked it. That's like his whole shtick. Is I got a big arm and I can fucking fling the ball, and I'm smart. But it's like Mike Jones is limited in his physical abilities, and he was in college. He was in the draft going out. That's why he slipped in the draft technically to where he fell, because he was the most pro ready on paper, going up against top flight competition. But we're seeing him with a depleted roster, or not great skill position players, and it's like he's a little bit more limited in his offense. And if you can trick him and make some disguises, he's gonna underthrow the ball. He's gonna place the ball wrong because he's still figuring that shit out. He's him and Pat Mahomes and him were like almost drafted at the same spot or pretty close to it, and their physical intangibles are wild. The only difference is level of wildly different. The only real difference is the level of competition in which they played against. And it's like, Mahomes can't be that good because they play no defense in the Big 12. Well, Mac Jones has got to be great, because even if he makes right decisions, because he came from that where it's SEC, NFL ready defense. I think it's catching up with him.
What Alabama quarterback besides Jalen Hurts is even fucking good in the league?
But what Alabama
Tua?
What Alabama quarterback in the past like 8 years hasn't been drafted to the league? And what other
but my point is just like that argument about like that he's playing against better competition than Pat Mahomes is like bullshit.
No, what I'm saying college, but what I'm saying is no, he was the SEC whenever Mac Jones was there compared to the Big 12 whenever Pat Mahomes was playing. Mac Jones won a championship.
It's irrelevant.
No, but I'm talking. Okay, it's not irrelevant whenever you talk about his rookie year and people believing in him and buying into it. Part of it is the mystique of him coming out in college and then being able to run a little bit more elevated, intricate offense with more reads because he can make the reads, but he can't make all the fucking throws. And you're seeing now that when they put more disguises and they know where his strengths are, they take them away from him. You're seeing Mac Jones struggle more. Then you see Zappe come in and he chucks the fucking ball around everywhere because it's part of his college system, and they're just running him out there and saying, throw it. And last year they were saying, Mac Jones, don't make a mistake. Play within yourself. And now they're saying, go win the game. And he's never been I'm going to go win this game quarterback.
Okay, but the thing is, Zappe can learn the system.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Mac Jones can't learn how to throw the ball harder.
No, exactly. And that's the reason why I say, like, the comparison between Mac Jones and Pat Mahomes in college is he can make all of these reads and do that, but he didn't have the physical intangibles that Pat Mahomes did. And you saw Pat Mahomes sit for an entire year, piece it together behind a very physically limited Alex Smith, Alex Smith did not have a cannon, but Alex Smith was very accurate.
But he could run.
He made very good decisions, did not turn the ball over historically, like would not turn them through very few picks, and that dated all the way back to college. He was a play within yourself quarterback, and you'd have someone like that teach somebody and teach that system to someone like Pat Mahomes. He's going to be doing what we see now because now the game slowed down before we got in. For right now, Zappe, the game's moving like this. But now, Mac Jones, the game moves a little bit slower, but he can't get the ball there in time. He's way more like Chad Pennington, where Chad Pennington made the playoffs. Chad Pennington, that team won the division from the Pats and like the big Pat mystique, and with Ronnie Brown and the Wildcat offense. That Chad Pennington was like an MVP candidate, comeback player of the year. Couldn't throw the ball 40 yards down the fucking field. He was just accurate. But he had to have a good defense and like 2 running backs, and he had to play within himself because if he asked Chad Pennington to go beat somebody, he's fucking losing. He's going to lose, and it's not because he made the wrong decision. It's because the ball didn't get there in time or he didn't get rid of it quick enough. It's those little small mistakes that they make that are like that play that are like almost like their tells. If that makes sense, if that made any sense at all. But that's where I'm saying you can compare them because, yeah, Mac Jones on physical intangibles had no business being a first-round quarterback. It's way more about pedigree and who he's played against and what he's done. But he's got Devontae Smith and Michi and Jamison Williams, and he's got all these like stud athletes, and it's like throw the ball out there and let him catch it. How many people, like Sam Bradford, how many people have we seen that were throw the ball out there and let him catch it, but can't get it done at the next level because they're limited? They were always limited. We just didn't see it. And Mahomes was never limited. He was more limited by his...
Mac Jones doesn't have Sam Bradford, and Sam Bradford wasn't great.
No, but Sam Bradford in college lit it up. How many
jobs did he get? How many contracts did he get in the NFL?
No, I know.
So I'm just saying, like, but I don't think Mac Jones is on that level, like, not yet, at least.
No, I mean, I'd say he's a way better leader and a lot tougher than Sam Bradford for sure. Not that that's hard, but I'm saying in that, like, we've seen these quarterbacks come out and it's like put the ball out there and let them get it. That's not really how it works. So that was.
I think Sam Bradford's better.
So that was I would say that, but that's the big contention with. I mean, a healthy Sam Bradford or a healthy Mac Jones. I'm taking a healthy Sam Bradford. I'm doing that for sure. I've seen more. I've seen him do more. But when you think about, man, fucking Sam fucking Bradford, god damn it.
He was an Eagles quarterback for a second.
But you could say that Mac Jones was elevated because of the level of competition he played against, and you could say that they devalued Pat Mahomes because of the level of competition he played against. Because if you watch them both go out there and throw the ball around, you're gonna pick Mahomes over. You know. But if you base it off a school, Texas Tech quarterback, where we've seen hundreds of them fail, he's like the most successful Texas Tech quarterback of all time. Maybe second place is Baker Mayfield. I mean,
was he with Kingsbury at the time?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and Kingsbury's another one who failed in the NFL and was a great Texas Tech quarterback.
That's not failed. He's still a head coach.
He's coaching. He's not playing. So I mean, failing on like a.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
Matt Rule, first coach fired.
Yeah. All right. And then, fuck Matt Rule. All right, get into your upset. Sorry, we were rambling. That was a lot. Apologies, y'all. Upset pick last week. We hit this.
We did hit that. We had the Cowboys at the Rams, at the Cowboys at plus 200. The Rams just look really bad right now. They have a lot of problems. One of their biggest is their offensive line. They went from being the top-rated unit last season against the pass. This season, they are ranked 32nd against the pass. Like, they have so many issues, but nevertheless, the Cowboys win, and we get that. Then
We both had that. Just throwing that out there. We both, like, I had that in my parlay. You had it too. Like, I think it was so obvious the Cowboys.
Yeah,
were
they
gonna win that game.
should. We watched the Rams give up nine sacks the week before, just like we watched the Commanders. So that's where it was a foregone conclusion that Washington's going to give up a shit ton of sacks to the Cowboys because they gave up 9 sacks to us, and then they go out there and they have like 5 or 6 against them. It's the same with the Rams. The week before, we saw the Rams play like shit, and their O-line's trash, and they gave up a bunch of sacks to a team with a good pass rush. But I don't think that's I think like I said, that Rams game says way more about the state of the Rams than it does the overall state of the Cowboys, in my opinion. Because to say that Rams team is the same Rams team as before and to claim that is bullshit.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
What are your?
so we were up. Teaser real quick. So the Colts at Broncos under 48. That hit easily. Bears at Vikings. We had the Vikings -1. They hit that. Then the Raiders at Chiefs -1.5. That was the heartbreaker. Chiefs ended up winning the game, but only by 1 point. Maybe if Josh McDaniels just kicks the PAT or they make the 2-point conversion, it's a different story, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, fuck, I think we were at 1.5. I didn't text you because I didn't want to know. And now I do.
He's down to 1.5.
Yeah, he teased it down to 1.5.
Dude, Vegas just bent y'all over and fucked you, dude. Like, that is insane. 30-29 was the score, right?
Yep. 30-29. Yeah.
Shit. No, we were talking about Devontae Adams earlier. He actually beat me solely in my fantasy football league with the Dallas boys.
Yeah.
I was 0-4 going into that game and had a huge lead, and he put up like over 30 fucking points on me, and I lost by like 4 points, and then he assaulted somebody.
I'm so glad I'm not playing fantasy football this year. It's been a fucking relief. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been peaceful. It's been
0-5.
It's been calm. So every time, like, it's just like silence. It's so nice not having to play fantasy football this year and deal with all that shit. It just gets exhausting, and then you get those group threads where it's just like people are talking shit at like 3 a.m. drunk, and you're trying to sleep, and then you gotta mute it, and they're like, dude, why don't you say anything in the group chat, bro? And it's like, dude, because y'all are annoying. Like, don't want to have my phone going off all day. 0-5, so you're 0-5 now?
In the Dallas league, yeah.
You're just a meme. You're just
I'm
a walking.
4-1. I don't want to brag or anything.
4-1, my boy. Let's go.
I'm 3-3 in the Liga Dorks, the 16-team Dynasty League. Well,
3-3 is not that good, dude.
I will be 3-3 after this week because the guy I'm playing against is tanking. So,
why
yeah,
is he just not changing his roster or anything? He's just not inactive.
There's multiple teams that like will purposefully not start anybody so that they get like the first or second draft pick next year for the rookies.
See,
I'm morally opposed to doing that ever. Like, I would never ever do that. This is 12 years running in this league, but it does happen.
You gotta like have your commissioner make that against the rules.
There's 3 commissioners, to be honest, and I brought it up.
This, dude? Like a 3-panel tribunal. We will all sit down and discuss whether we make a defensive specialist an active roster slot or not. That's like way too much.
No, so there's 16 teams, so everybody has to have 2 defenses and 2 kickers, which is every kicker and every defense that's in the league. So I drafted 12 years ago the Eagles defense and the Bengals defense, and I still have them on my team today.
How do you
every year?
What's it? Do they move up in draft spot, or are your keepers off the draft board? Because see, I was in a dynasty league
We,
where
we,
you're
we only draft rookies.
Oh, you own? See, I like that. See, I was in one where every year your keeper would move up. So like, if you drafted him in the second round, they're your first round pick if you're gonna keep him, or you got to let him go. It was like it was kind of obnoxious.
Like this is like I drafted Russell Wilson. It was my first ever rookie pick. He was third string at the time, and I just saw him play in the Rose Bowl, and I was like, this guy balls. And I had won that year, the first year, so I was like, it was the 32nd overall pick. I picked Russell Wilson, and I've never looked back.
Damn. Well, you should probably looking back now. Yeah,
exactly.
looking back now. Hey, Broncos country, let's ride. All right, let's get into Joey Boy's locks here. Hey, Joey, tell us about your locks. I heard they're good, top quality. You can't cut them with bolt cutters. Tell me about your locks.
So first off, we got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. We're going over 50.5 points. It's right below that key number of 51. So if we see like a 24-27 game, then that bet hits. Cardinals ranked 21st against the pass, and Seahawks ranked 26th. The Cardinals do have a good rush defense, but the Seahawks are dead last in that category. That's going to be a chance for Kyler Murray to like scramble, get some good rushing yards. Seahawks, they have a decent offense. They did lose Rashad Penny for the season, but
shocker,
I still
running
think
back
they'll be
hurt.
able to run the ball.
San Diego State, baby.
Hey, did you know that Geno Smith is number 1 in QBR right now? He's like 110.
You told us that last week.
No, he was like number 5. He went up he was throwing fucking dots the other day.
No, he's taking it to a whole nother level.
Dude, the resurgence of Mr. Glass, dude. It's fucking awesome.
So anyway, Cardinals Seahawks over 50.5 points. Next, we're going Broncos at the Chargers. We're going Broncos team total under 20.5 points at -120. Plain and simple, the Broncos offense is bad. It breaks my heart to say it, but they are. Russell Wilson is dealing with a partially torn lat, and he just lost our best offensive lineman, our left tackle, Garrett Bowles. I still don't trust Melvin Gordon or the Broncos running backs to establish any kind of ground game. I thought about playing just like the full game under, but Keenan Allen could be back, and the Chargers are starting to establish their run game, so I don't want to deal with them popping off and the Chargers single-handedly ruining the under for us, which I could see happen. And last stat here, the Broncos have only eclipsed this number once, and that was 2 weeks ago at the Raiders when they had a healthy Javonte Williams and a healthy Garrett Bowles. So I think this one hits pretty easily.
Thoughts, Goody, on this one?
I mean, I agree with most of it. I was just gonna say the Broncos defense is legit in my opinion. So that would be one argument against the Chargers popping off. And Keenan Allen, like, you know, he's like gonna go eat a sandwich at lunch and then be like, I pulled a hamstring. I drafted him in my fantasy Dallas league that I'm 0-5 in.
I chipped my tooth on this Quiznos. I'm out, guys. I'm out, man. I tried the toasted sub, but it chipped my tooth.
But Eckler is proving that he's not like just some like flash in the pan type of running back. He's like real.
Yeah, but he's also got to stay healthy. It's the same thing I've said. They
got
to stay
healthy. He's healthy this week.
Well, this week he is, but it's, you know, what, a 17, 18, who knows how many weeks the season is now. No, it's 17 game season. Well, they keep adding weeks, man.
It's 18 weeks, 17 games.
Hey, man, not if you're a true fan. You count the Hall of Fame game, God damn it. It's 18 games. That Hall of Fame game ain't preseason, all right?
No, because I took a knee. I took a knee at that game, so it doesn't count.
You one of them Kaepernick persons, huh? No, I like that. I think that, yeah. I could see the Broncos are struggling. Chargers are like I said, that division's rough, and if they're going to get we talked about maybe the whole division getting the wild card spots, and now it's like one of them is going to be lucky to snag one, depending on how this all shakes out. One of them is going to be lucky because let's say the Bills run away and win that division, the Tua comes back and Miami's moderately competitive. Well, then there's one of them right there. If anybody else picks up any steam, and like leapfrogs them, it's totally possible.
Very easily.
Yeah. Maybe no, I don't know.
Because
About you.
you could make a case that
AFC
two
South
teams
sucks.
are.
The AFC South sucks. The AFC East, we just talked about how shitty it is. So it's like you're depending, or not the AFC East, the AFC, like what is
AFC
it?
North?
Yeah, AFC North sucks. We just talked about that. So it's like, do you really think the Dolphins are that good? Like to
Well, I mean,
like
are they good
top
enough?
somebody out?
Are they good enough to be better than the Patriots, who look pretty bad and are on a backup quarterback, and Miami? Like, yeah, like in comparison with the Bills, they could finish 9-8 like the Eagles did last year and sneak in, and that's a wild card. I'm saying I just don't think we might see one, maybe two teams come from this division, and if it's two, it's going to be like two of them are going to be out of it. And right now, it could either be the Raiders, it could be the Broncos, depending on
Chiefs Chargers.
depending on long-term health,
Yeah,
it could
Chiefs,
be the Chargers. You can make a case for all three of them, depending. Right now, when you think about in health-wise and people missing for the year, the Chargers are in the worst spot out of anyone in the division right now. They're missing more key players at key pivotal spots, in a Bosa, in a Slater, in like wide receivers, in the secondary. And then you compile all that together. Like if everyone else is healthy, I could see them missing out just as much as anyone else, besides the Chiefs, obviously. All right, what's your last lock? This is risky.
All right, we
dude.
got the Bills at the Chiefs. We're taking the Chiefs +3 at -110. So last week, this line was at a pick'em before last week's games. But then the Bills blew out a bad Steelers team, and the Chiefs barely squeaked by against the Raiders, which is why I think we saw this line movement. But the Bills have dominated bad teams, but they were in two really close games against the two best teams they have played, which was the Dolphins and the Ravens. And I think the Chiefs are better than both of those teams. Not putting too much weight onto the Raiders game, since that was a sandwich game for the Chiefs. They were at Tampa Bay the week before. They got Buffalo this week, so yeah, I'm just not putting too much weight onto that. Last year, the Bills did go into Arrowhead during the regular season and blow them out 38-20, but then the Chiefs got their payback in the playoffs and probably the craziest final 3 minutes of any NFL game I have ever seen.
Such a good game.
See, and then the Bills' pass defense really hasn't been tested yet. And like, this will be the best offense they play. I mean, Kenny Pickett threw for 327 yards last week against them. Patrick Mahomes is infinitely better than Kenny Pickett right now.
Yeah, and they're missing.
Patrick Mahomes is up.
I'll say they're missing Hyde, one of their really good safeties. He's out for the year, and that you're seeing the effect of that long term. You get Tre'Davious White back, who's a really good corner, but he's coming off a really bad injury last year that made him sit out all year. Like, yeah, you're right. This is going to be the biggest test we've seen this Bills defense have all year. You would think it would be the Rams in the first game of the year, but it wasn't even fucking close. You could see the Rams were hemorrhaging in that first game. This shit's gonna be wild, dude. This is gonna be a crazy fucking game, I feel like.
It's gonna be a really good game. Patrick Mahomes is also 7-0-1 against the spread as an underdog. I mean, bottom line is, this game should be at a pick'em, so I'm just gonna take the points with the home dog. Take the Chiefs +3.
Okay, and you heard it here. Those were Joey Boy's Stone Cold Hard, delicious homemade New York style bagel locks. You gotta try them. I was thinking of another thing that was a locks, but that's LOX, or the rap group LOX. All right. Don't bet.
Don't bet. For this week, we got the Vikings at Miami. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. I think this all depends on Teddy Bridgewater. If Teddy Bridgewater does end up playing, I think Dolphins +3.5 is great value. But because of all the scrutiny that the Dolphins got with how they handled Tua and his concussion, I think they're gonna be extra cautious with Teddy Bridgewater and his concussion. So I think their third string quarterback, I remember seeing his name. I forget what it is though, but I don't think he's going to do enough against the Vikings team.
He's starting. They said he's starting. They said that he's starting, yeah. So if he's
Is it-
cleared, if
is
Bridgewater's
that the kid-
cleared, he's playing as a backup.
Is that the kid from Georgia?
What, Stetson Bennett, that's 17th? Sorry, I just fucking hate that guy's name.
No, he's still at Georgia.
Yeah, I know. He's been there for forever. No, I can't remember. He lit it up in the preseason, and they were like, okay, we're keeping this guy. I can't remember what his name is. I can pull it up. I have a mega computer.
I just felt like a Georgia quarterback was like third string that got in this week and did all right, but maybe I'm tripping.
Dolphins injury report. Hold on, I pull up. Please. Yeah, from what I understand, Bridgewater is not playing. Is limited at practice where he killed quad foot. Raheem Mostert out. Teddy Bridgewater did not practice. Hold on, I'm trying to find where this dude's name is.
I can't believe we're taking this much time on this fucking.
Well,
third
because now
stringer.
I'm curious.
Oh, it's Skylar Thompson.
There it is, Skylar Thompson. I knew it was like Skylar. It started like
Kansas State.
Hey, that guy was pretty good at Kansas State. And go K-State. I've always been pro K-State. All right.
And so I don't have a official upset play, but one play that I do want to keep an eye on is the Panthers +10 at the Rams. Panthers just fired Matt Rule and their head coach. They're benching Baker Mayfield for P.J. Walker. I don't think there's any possible way that P.J. Walker plays worse than Baker Mayfield.
P.J. Walker lights it up, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And
legit.
then if you look at teams, they often see positive regression after firing a bad head coach. This is also a play on how abysmal the Rams are right now. They've scored 9 and 10 points in their last 2 games. As we talked about earlier, their offensive line is horrible. Dallas only needed 76 passing yards to beat them last week, so I think it's an interesting play at +10. I'm not going to give it out officially, but it's something I'm going to keep my eye on.
Okay, and now your long shot teaser.
Yeah, so for this, we got 4 picks on this. First off is Commanders at the Bears. We're teasing the Bears from a pick'em to +6. Doing the Bucks at the Steelers. Teasing the Bucks from -9 down to -3. Taking the Jags at the Colts. We're going Jags from +2 to +8. Get us over that 7 number. Then we're going 49ers at the Falcons. 49ers from -5.5 to +0.5 point. So they essentially just have to win the game. So if we break this down a little bit, the Bears are not as bad as I thought they would be. They're well coached, and their coaching staff is putting them in positions to be competitive in games. They lost their last 2 games by 1 score to 2 4-1 teams. They're gritty. They're competitive. Justin Fields, I don't know if he's the long-term answer there. I hope he is. I hope that works out. But this week, I think they can do enough to cover this +6. And on the other side, you have the Commanders. You have Ron Rivera, who just basically shit-talked his quarterback in front of everybody. That's not good for the locker room. That's not good for the team culture. So I think that's going to negatively affect them this week. Then next pick, we got the Bucks at the Steelers. Plain and simple, Bucks are better here. We've seen Tom Brady destroy Mike Tomlin defenses in the past. Kenny Pickett has looked decent. We talked about him earlier, but Bucks have one of the best defenses in the league, and I think will cause him some problems. And then for the Jags at the Colts, I don't think the Colts can beat anyone by 8 points right now. Jonathan Taylor didn't practice today. Shaq Leonard is still going through concussion protocol. Who knows what's up with Matt Ryan? He's a shell of his former self. The Jags already did beat the Colts this season in Jacksonville 24-0. It is in Indianapolis. It is a different environment, but I'm comfortable laying this 8 points here and hope the Jags lose by 7 or less, which I think they will, if not win the game.
Yeah.
And then on the last leg, so I teased this down. I teased the 49ers game down because the Falcons are a perfect 5-0 against the spread this season. They have just enough talent to stay in games, but I don't think they have enough to beat this 49ers team. 49ers stayed on the East Coast this past week, so their travel isn't going to be an issue, which I think will benefit them. We just need them to win this game, which I think they will.
Okay. Those are good picks. I kind of agree with all of them, especially that Niners. That's pretty much a pick 'em. Jags, I mean, and they lost last week. That was a rough loss for them last week, so they should be bouncing back. Steelers don't have a chance against that Bucs defense, in my opinion, regardless of what the Bucs do on offense. And they're missing their best pass rusher. And yeah, I mean, Bears, fuck the Commanders, dude. Poor Wentz, man. Like, fuck Carson Wentz, but poor Wentz. Like, he just, like, Ron Rivera is so nice, too, and tries to be so PC. He was just, like, bashing him, and he was like, yeah, we talked, we're good. That was his, like, follow-up. It was like, yeah, I spoke with him, we're good. It's like, no, you're not. If that's how you're saying it, no, you're not. No, you're not. Any thoughts on these? On this long shot teaser, Mr. Goody?
I mean, yeah, like I've got picks that go completely against all of it, but okay.
I love it. You're so anti-computer. You're so anti-progression.
I made my picks before I heard his picks. It's not like I'm purposely doing this.
Well, his machine takes a bit, man. It's like the what's it called? Like that machine in the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Willy Wonka movie, where he puts it in, it tells him where the last golden ticket's gonna be, and it's this big computer in this room, and it spits out this little card. Do you know what I'm talking about? No.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with this?
That's what his computer's like. It takes a while for him to get the results he needs.
No, I'm saying I just found out about his picks right now.
No, I know. I was just saying, right now, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah.
You normally do.
Well, my thoughts are going to go into my picks.
Okay. Then let's get into Mr. Goody's picks. We'll give him a clap, and we'll give him a cheer. He's coming in. Joe says no. The man who's anti-robot, anti-future, and is a huge Joe Rogan podcast fan, Andrew Schultz. What do you got?
Jesus Christ. All right. So I did the 5-team favorite parlay and the 3-team long shot parlay. So for the 5-team favorite parlay, 3 of these 5 teams have won a Super Bowl in the last 4 years. Your Los Angeles Rams over the Carolina Panthers. I think that the Carolina Panthers, as dismal as we've said the Rams have been, they're going to beat the shit out of Carolina this week. I'm sorry. Carolina doesn't know. 10
points.
No, I haven't. This is money line parlay.
Oh.
Okay, you're right. Because you had the points. I don't. They could beat them by 1, and we both still win. So, Los Angeles Rams over the Panthers in LA. Now, the Los Angeles Chargers, that's right, LA, baby, over the Broncos, money line. I think everybody realizes that's going to happen. Both of these games are in LA, which is weird because they play at the same stadium, so maybe one of them's Monday night?
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, get out. Bye. I think always Broncos are Monday night. Of course they are. Let's ride. Worst fucking primetime shit I've ever seen. Y'all are the Cowboys right now with these god-awful primetime games.
But you were saying that, like, earlier, you were saying something about, like, that their schedule is tougher because they're in primetime. Or that has nothing to do with anything.
Oh,
like, the schedules are predetermined by your division, who your division plays, what place you got the year before. And that's it. Like,
well, there's I was saying just that I was making a point, just talking shit about the Cowboys playing in primetime when they say we have the easiest schedule. I'm like, you have the second or third easiest schedule, and what's making it a little bit tougher, playing a couple primetime games and like outside of division or outside of that, where they're scheduling you to like play the Bucks or they're scheduling you to play these teams, or you're playing a garbage ass team on Thanksgiving. Like those, like they benefit from being in the same division and our division being bad last year. Just if we do this year, they do as well. That's all. But no, you're right. I know it's predetermined, and then they pick the games afterwards.
Yeah, or like the schedule afterwards. Like who you're gonna play is predetermined, and then from there they go with the scheduling.
Yeah.
All right. So I got both LA teams in LA, and then I got the Tampa Bay Bucks over the Pittsburgh Steelers. like I didn't really want to put this in here, but it's like the Steelers, in my opinion, are so fucking bad that like it was just like because it's plus 400 right now. I mean minus 400 for the Bucks. So to me that was just like a given, and I could fill out this 5-team parlay. So 2 LA teams, Tampa, and then this is the risky one. Well, there's 2 risky ones coming. Buffalo Bills over Kansas City. Money line parlay. I could easily see either team winning, but for the sake of the favorite parlay, it's minus 150 for the Bills right now. But it's in Kansas City, so that's going to be a tough game. And then to round out the 5 teams, your Philadelphia Eagles over the Cowboys. Money line parlay, baby.
Let's
We're
go.
about to, yeah, that's right. Like, I respect the Cowboys. I just think the Eagles are gonna win.
I respect.
So,
I respect.
just real quick. So, LA, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Philly, all together, that's a plus 406 parlay. Okay, and then my long shot 3-team parlay. The Seattle Seahawks at home over the Arizona Cardinals. To me, put that in your fucking lock. Like, I don't think the Cardinals are good, and I think the Seahawks are better than people think. And they've kind of started proving it. And like we said, Geno's like the highest rated quarterback in the goddamn league. Giants at home over the Ravens. And then Patriots on the road at Cleveland. So, Patriots, Giants, Seahawks, money line. All they have to do is win by a point. Plus 1,427.
Damn. That's a big in.
It's fun when these 3-team long shot parlays like put out a big number like plus 1,400.
Yeah, how do you not do it?
But I haven't hit one yet, so that's how you don't do it.
It's true. As Vegas is getting us for our half a point tease, they're getting you for these big numbers on a 3-team long shot parlay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Patriots, Giants, Seahawks, also 3 Super Bowl winners not that long ago.
It's been a while for the Giants.
What, like, was it 08 or was that the first one?
Yeah, I think that was the first one. So
Yeah, so like what, 2012? So like
it's
10
been
years.
it's been like 10 years or something like that.
Okay, whatever.
It's been a little bit. Yeah,
I know, but
any criticisms for his picks?
The one I am most worried about is the Patriots game. I do like the Browns. I kind of lean towards them, but you never know with Jacoby Brissett and the fact that they can't hold a lead and close out games. I don't hate it.
And Belichick got fired from the Browns, so he always has something extra when he's serving them up.
Well, you heard it here first that Joseph 2.0 leans brown, so we got it here first. Joseph is all about the dark meat, and he leans browns. You're like, I like to lean brown. I'm like, hell yeah, you do. That's what I'm talking about, son. Do you want to stick around while we just rant a little bit more about this Cowboys Eagles shit, or at least want to give me your opinion? What do you think this Cowboys Eagles game is going to be? If you heard me ranting earlier, I feel like people are being super disrespectful about how the Eagles defense is extremely competitive and downplaying they're overhyping the Cowboys defense and really downplaying that their offense has been like the better part of anemic besides some big plays. Cooper Rush throwing for 102 yards isn't going to beat the Eagles in Philly, and on top of that, the Eagles have a better defense right now than the Rams do. Like, what are your like? It's driving me nuts, and I'm sure you've heard some of these people pick it, and they're like, "Oh, Cowboys all day, baby. I think the Cowboy defense is gonna go." What do you think about this shit? Because I call bullshit garbage.
I think the Eagles win this game one way or another. Like, I pretty much agree with what you said. I don't think the Cowboys offense is gonna be able to do anything against the Eagles. Yeah, the Cowboys defense, they will have their moments, but I think for the most part, the Eagles are going to have their way with them. I do. Yeah, I think
Like,
the Eagles
like
win
that,
this game.
like they haven't played an offensive line like ours at all. Like you can't
Well,
compare
aren't they banged up?
ours.
Yeah.
Well, Malata's supposed to play. He sat out last week, and Driscoll went out there and beasted. Like, what I'm saying is, like, we have depth. Like, one of our strongest things is we have people that would start on other teams as our backups. And Kelsey got hurt. He came back in, but Juergens is a monster at center. Like, Juergens is, like, in some ways, nastier when it comes to playing center than Kelsey is, if that's even possible. But we have, like, so much depth and so much young talent that it gives us the ability, like, they sat some guys last week. They were like, my lot is like, I should be good. And I think they sat him out last week so he could play this week. Yeah, I just don't think they match up well. And I don't know who's matching up with Dallas Goedert in their linebacking core or what safety's lining up with that dude. He's tearing it up. He's number 3 in yards after catch in the league right now as a tight end.
Is he really? Because
Yes.
I have him. He's my tight end in both of my fantasy leagues, and I feel like he's like underperforming.
No, he's
But I drafted him as a rookie. I had a chance to draft Schultz, the tight end for the Cowboys,
fuck sure.
or Goddard. My last name is Schultz, but Dallas was playing for the Eagles, and I was like, I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Yeah,
Even though it was the Eagles pick.
he's killing it right now. So like, and then like who's covering so they're gonna put Diggs on AJ Brown, who's covering Devontae Smith, who's running around all over the place. Like I don't think that they match up well enough for us on paper 1-on-1 for them to sit there, send the extra man, and win their 1-on-1 matchups consistently because we have enough.
Do you really think that Diggs is going to be matched up with AJ Brown? Because I don't think he can. He can't cover him. He's too tiny.
I hope he tries. No, AJ. Yeah, I hope he tries.
I can see that's a better matchup, like for them, like for Devontae Smith.
Well, then if they put him on Devontae Smith and they're putting their like second, third string corner who's now starting on AJ Brown, he's gonna get his face eaten off. That's what I'm saying. Is like you're gonna have to pick who you want, who you're gonna allow to get their plays and to beat you. And if they're not smart about it, they're going to get beat. And we've seen that Micah Parsons, while still being dominant and making plays, has more trouble going up against a mobile quarterback, even with a bad offensive line, than he does when he's going up against a traditional drop back pass. I can't escape the pocket. Not saying Micah Parsons isn't good, but he's really good about getting to a spot if you're not going to get the fuck off of it. That's for fuck sure. Daniel Jones has been living his life getting off of a spot and trying to do something. And Parsons was a no-show in the sack. Now, granted, other people made plays. His impact is still there, but our guards are better than their best offensive tackle, let alone our center or either of our tackle. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think it's going to be close, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be something like 32-21 Eagles. Personally, I think the Eagles win by probably 10 or more. And I think that, offensive mistakes for the Cowboys come back and bite them in the ass. But if it's not close, the Eagles are going to smoke them. If it's not close, the Cowboys are not going to smoke the Eagles in this game. I don't believe that. There's too much on offense. Like I was running through the stats. They've given up more yards than the Eagles have. They've have 1,490 total offensive yards, and they've given up 1,550. The Eagles have 2,100 yards in total offense and have given up less amount of yards than the Cowboys have in total offense. That's such a disparity that I don't think they can overcome that. I don't think their offense can overcome, even if their defense plays out of their minds. I don't think their offense outplays our defense. And we match up great. So you're going to put CeeDee Lamb on Slay or Bradbury because they'll play a side. And you're going to put Dan Schultz on who? Kazir White, who's been crushing it? Or you're going to roll Gardner Johnson down and line him up on it? Yeah, all day. I love that because Dan Schultz he's a possession guy and runs quick routes. He's not a run by you dude. And we got a lot of guys who can run by you and knock the fuck out of you too. And are saucy about it. And we got embarrassed last year in both games we played. Don't think they didn't forget about that shit.
Okay, so we haven't mentioned Pollard. Are we sure that Pollard's not better than Zeke?
He is. I said before in previous episodes they haven't paid their most impactful players. None of them for the Cowboys have been paid yet. Pollard, Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons. These three guys who are in CeeDee Lamb, if you want to say CeeDee Lamb, and Dan Schultz, because he's on a franchise tag. Their 5 best offensive weapons, or just playmakers on both sides of the ball, haven't been paid yet. That's a problem. That's a problem for them long term because they get into this. So now they have the highest paid overrated running back in the league, and then somebody who might be one of the best like young running backs, fastest and hardest to tackle in the open field with a little bit of power, and that guy's not getting paid yet. And so you're gonna have to let Zeke go, or do you try to keep Zeke because he's played pretty decent this year, and you want to keep chemistry, and he's gonna take a pay cut? I don't know. If I'm Pollard, I'm walking, and I'm going somewhere else where I can go start. I'm gonna go take less money and go be in the rotation for the Niners, where I can get a little shine. Where the offense is going to be structured around, because the offense isn't structured around Pollard. He could be a key 1 or 2 piece in somebody else's offense. You put him in the Chargers offense, Pollard's killing it better than Eckler is. I firmly believe. No, because I think he's a little bit quicker, and he doesn't fumble as much. And honestly, he can play. He's healthier more than Eckler is. I
think they ship Zeke out to like Tampa Bay or something. Like before they get rid of Pollard.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna have to make. I'm just saying they're gonna have to make a decision, and all these guys are gonna come up for contract around the same time. The same time you got to pay CeeDee Lamb is the exact same time you got to pay Trayvon Diggs, because they were drafted at the same time. So you're gonna have to pay them pretty close to in close proximity. And Parsons, and don't tell me Trayvon Diggs isn't gonna want to try to reset the corner market.
I'm not signing Diggs if I'm them.
No, I'm not either, but they will, because he's a fan favorite. We got to keep him around because he's one of Jerry. It's the same bullshit. This is why they keep getting in this same recycled bullshit where they can't get out of their own way. I still think they should have drafted an offensive lineman. They'd have more depth. They'd be in better shape. Because I think that our D-line is going to get after them boys. I don't think they're ready for it. Not like they think they are. And I think that our offensive line knows what they're going up against, and I don't think you can necessarily be ready for someone like Micah Parsons. They're definitely prepping for it and aware of what's going on. Like, you can't, like I said before, Lane Johnson hasn't given up a sack in over 1,200 snaps. 2.5.
Micah doesn't have to get a sack in order to affect the game. That's the thing.
No, absolutely. But I mean, okay, then put DeMarcus Lawrence out up center and have him have Casey, Kelsey, and Dickerson and Jordan Mailata smack him in the mouth, because those guys are good too. It's like we have like top-notch level talent on the offensive line, from right tackle to left guard to center, and then we have a very serviceable, good right guard, and our backup is our one of our top prospect centers. We have so many people that we can just like recycle through that I don't think they can match the depth that the Eagles have for a whole game.
And I do like what I've seen out of Cooper Rush, but I don't know if he's ready for walking into the Lincoln Financial Stadium and dealing with that crowd and that Eagles defense. So I agree. Like, that's why they're in my parlay. Like, I think the Eagles are going to win.
Yeah, I know. You just always make arguments for the Cowboys. You're like a Chandler Parsons lobbyist. It pisses me off. He's the enemy, man. He's the enemy.
Chandler Parsons?
Oh, sorry, Chandler Parsons. Why do I always say that? I always think Micah Parsons. Chandler Parsons looked like Justin Timberlake, played for the Mavs a bit. Was like a white boy basketball player.
I didn't know that Micah Parsons was like active on Twitter talking shit about the refs. Like,
dude, he talks mad shit, bro, mad shit. That's all. Like, I suggest you go look it up. He's always complaining about something. And I get it. You're critiquing. It's your job. You care. Whatever. You sound whiny as fuck, dude.
I really didn't know he was like that. Like,
yeah.
So it's made me recalculate what I think about him.
So it's like, I feel like he's got a humbling coming. And let's say they do beat the Eagles. God forbid they beat us, and we go 5. We're at 5-1, and then we play out the rest of the season. Whatever. I still think that dude's got a humbling coming on the field, because he's so arrogant about it, and people keep fluffing him up so much. And he lives in Dallas, where they're fluffing him up even fucking more, that it's like obnoxious. I mean, who's better? Who's more impactful in a game? TJ Watt or Chandler Parsons? They're both super impactful. I can make
Parsons.
But I can make a case. Oh, sorry. I can make a case. Sorry. Now it seems like I'm being disrespectful. But like, you can make a case that Watt's just as good, if not better, than Micah Parsons. He had
I would argue that he is.
Yeah, 22 and a half sacks last year and tied the record for most sacks in a single season. And they play the same fucking position. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, so it's like this intoxication that people have with it because they've played a bunch of mediocre offensive lines, bad running games, and offenses that aren't firing on all cylinders. And he's feasting on them, as he should. Yes, you should. Absolutely. The Yankees should beat the Expos when they play the fucking Expos because the Expos fucking suck.
Expos don't exist.
I know, I'm using it just as an example, as like a hyperbolic of a team that's super, super bad. Now,
but that team doesn't even there is no Expos, bro.
There used to be. So back in the day, I can't name a team. Now there's we've seen mid-market teams win World Series, so you got to watch what you say now. But 96 style. Even with Vlad on the fucking team of the Expos, David Cohn and those boys and Derek Jeter and Fernando Tatis should mop the floor with the Expos because they should play them regardless of what one good player they have. So regardless of having Cooper Kupp, all the issues you have everywhere else, Cooper Kupp can't make up for all of them, and he had like an 80-yard touchdown. He still had an 80-yard touchdown. He's the only offense. It's like I'm saying I haven't learned anything about the Cowboys in watching these games on their offense, and I haven't learned shit about their defense in the level of competition they've played. I've learned more about the Eagles and what they've been able to do against the competition they've played against and the fits that they can create in the different games and the way they get punched in the mouth first game on the road, all the hype in the world for Detroit, and they come back and win that game, a barn burner of a game, and then come back and shut somebody out. And then last week, get up, struggle with a really difficult to defend offense in Kingsbury. That's their whole shtick, is their offense is hard to stop. And it still comes down to them not being able to make a field goal, not being able to get over the hump, just to tie the game, not even win it. Because our defense was giving them so much fits that at the end of the game, they were fucking tired. And they were making mistakes. And our boys were like, let's go. Fletcher Cox is like, I'm on snap 35. This center's on snap number 65. I've done half the snaps because I'm in a rotation. I'm coming for you.
And then Kyler fucking spiked the ball on 3rd and 1 like an idiot. But in L.A., when the Cowboys were playing the Rams, they started chanting the entire stadium MVP for Micah Parsons. In LA.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's like saying that they were chanting MVP for Jalen Hurts in Arizona. If they panned the crowd, there was a fuck ton of Eagles fans there. It's never a home game for the Rams in LA. It's way too transient. Just like it cannot be a home game for the Cowboys. It cannot be a home game for Denver sometimes. There's a lot of Broncos fans, but there's a lot of other fans that live in Denver that'll go to those games and show the fuck up to those games.
How could it not be a home game for the Cowboys? What are you
because I mean, like when I go to the game later this year, it'll be almost half Eagles fans, half Cowboys fans. Your stadium can get bought out by the other people because not everybody is fully sold on the team. It's the same in LA, but it's not like with the Chiefs or the Bills. We're like, good luck getting tickets at a Bills game. Good luck having the Cowboys take over Eagles Stadium. They wouldn't allow it. And that's where it's like the Cowboys fans or Rams fans are like kind of wishy-washy. Half of the people the tickets sold are like not necessarily a fan of that team. They're going to see the other team or they're going to just go to a game. It's more of a social event, where in Kansas City it's like we're going to see the Chiefs. We're going to see the Eagles. We're going to see the Pats. Miami has that problem as well. And right now they're selling tons of tickets because they're good, but their stadium will be empty. If they're 5-5, it'll be fucking crickets in their stadium. They don't, because they're fair weather as fuck.
I never would have put the Cowboys in that basket because I've gone to Chargers games, I've gone to Rams games, and I've gone to and I've been in Cowboy Stadium. Cowboys
no, they show up, but what I'm saying is I went to the Cowboys Eagles game in Jerry World, the new Jerry World, and depending on who they're playing, if they're playing the Saints, if they're playing the Niners, if they're playing the Steelers, there's certain fan bases in this Dallas area that will show the fuck up. The Saints there's a couple games where they've notoriously had whole end zone sections of the stadium is just Saints fans. And it's it's where, that's why they criticize Cowboys fans for being fair weather, because it's well, now, we're coming in and they're taking over your stadium.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Sorry to keep you on so long, 2.0. I'm just pissed, and I'm tired of people talking shit. And he was talking shit, and I needed somebody below me to say that I'm not crazy, because I just don't. I think it'll be competitive, but if it gets it lopsided, I think it's lopsided in one way, and it's obvious. Personally,
I'd agree with that. Interesting stat: if you take the Eagles alternate line at -7, you get plus 115 on that. So it is an interesting play, something to keep in mind.
So basically, if you bet opposite line, is what you're saying. Explain that real quick.
Yeah, so you can bet like alternate spreads. Like if you think, oh, Steelers here are -3, I think they're gonna blow them out. Let me bet it at -6. You can get a lot better odds at that.
Oh, okay.
Number.
Okay. So you said it was what at -7? It's 1,400.
Plus 110.
Plus 110. So I don't know why I heard 14. That's not bad.
That was my bet.
Oh, okay. That was yours. You're the 1,000 guy. You're the hey man.
There's one that's plus 400, one that's plus 1,400.
No, I like the sound of the 1,400 more. That's for fuck sure. Well, all right. Well, we appreciate you coming on 2.0. I'm going to keep you on a little bit longer, Goody, because you're kind of like my dude for the day, and then I'm going to wrap this up. But those are your picks. We've got them in. They're set. 2.0 versus Goody. We'll see how it goes. I hope you hit one of these long shots one day, so you can pay this Lannister your debt. But one of these days you'll hit one of those long shots, Mr. Goody. And hey, we're up. We won. Yeah, unit and a half. So fuck yeah.
Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, no, let's keep it rolling, and let's ride our way to the money. Sorry, man, you're not gonna live that shit down. But we appreciate you coming on, man. So thanks again. Take it easy, Mr. 2.0, the good man, dude. Love
yes,
this
sir.
kid.
Thank you guys.
Hold on, you gotta go away so I can talk about you. Hold on, we'll wait. Okay. Oh my God, no, he's great.
Okay, but I have to pee.
Well, okay, then let's just wrap up your part. Then I'm gonna do, and you can go pee,
Okay.
and then I'll get out.
I didn't know how long you wanted me for.
All right. I just want to do a little plug. Hey, man. So if you guys are watching this or listening to this, you need to also check out our other project, Talk Shit or Get Off the Pod, episode 61 coming up. There's already been wild shit going on. We got that other, but could potentially be the last January 6th committee hearing happening tomorrow. So watch that. But no, honestly, man, it's just been fun. I've loved doing these podcast projects with you and shit. And this is like, it's totally different forum on this one, so I like it so much more, because not so much more, but like the conversation's so different because it's like such a different banter, and it's just like our opinions without having to have like the topics. Because sometimes lately, although we've been better, there was a couple weeks where I got really heavy on the articles, and I was like, man,
I did too.
Yeah. It's easy to get into that trap where you're like, damn, and like this is so heavy, and then you realize like, damn, someone said they were like, man, I'm so glad the podcast was like this week, because I really needed it, because like the world's been heavy, and sometimes it just reminds me of how heavy it is. I was like, hey, I got you. That's why I put that article about like seahorses or some shit in there. But no, you guys back.
Seahorses.
I don't know, why not? Seahorses are cute, man.
I don't remember us having an
No,
article.
I didn't. I just pulled that out of my ass. But now for 61, I'm finding a seahorse article just to make it all match.
Seahorses, like the men have the babies.
Yeah,
so.
it's very progressive and very smart.
Very progressive.
Yeah, it's who would have known? Who would have known? And there you go. Oh my God, that's such a good argument. Okay. Well,
You want to hear something?
Sure.
I might be going on a date on Saturday.
Oh.
With a non-binary person.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. You might. When is this?
Saturday maybe. I'm going on another date, but with a chick I met at. I didn't meet her. I wrote my number down on a napkin and passed it down the bar.
Oh yeah,
in Chinatown. I'm actually finally gonna hang out with her on Friday.
Okay, so you're dating it up. We'll have to get.
It's a different podcast. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that on Monday on Talk Shit or Get Off the Pod, because I'm interested now. I need to hear about this. Somebody got 2 date stories. Fuck yeah. Well, no, appreciate you coming on again, man. It's always a blast. And yeah, obviously Monday, Talk Shit or Get Off the Pod. So follow, like, subscribe, check it out. He's on Andy F. Baby, Talk Shit or Get Off the Pod on the gram. You can find him
Andy,
anywhere.
Andy F Baby,
Andy
88.
Andy F Baby 88. Sorry, apologies. Is there another Andy F Baby?
Apparently there was, because I tried to do Andy F Baby in like '09 and I couldn't get it.
Damn, dude.
But I got Jesus F Baby on Twitter. I just don't ever tweet.
Yeah, it's because you got hacked.
That's right. Not hacked.
Yeah, not hacked. I saw you on the goddamn web.
I got also hacked on Facebook. I got in the Cambridge Analytica shit. That like it's going to court now.
Keep fucking with me. I'll shadow ban your ass. Nat Hackett, dude, doesn't fuck around, dude. He's serious about that cybersecurity, dude. He learned it from McAfee, but he's like all about it, man.
He definitely doesn't fuck around in like the weight room or in like the film room or like anything that has to do with like being a good coach.
Yeah, but but hey, when he's on the job, your at-home desktop is safe. Nat Hackett, they say, is like just as good as a VPN. By the way, guys, go to ExpressVPN and type in code Hackett to receive 25% off.
Jesus Christ! All right, buddy.
No, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on. Take it easy, boss.
Thanks.
Another one. Well, what's that? That's the sound of the Cowboys season tanking after they get their asses kicked by the Eagles this weekend. Ooh, I digress. Nah, I really appreciate you guys coming by again. Always a blast. Talk, Share, or Get Off the Pod is on Mondays. Episode 61. Me and Mr. Goody. A lot of fun. You guys got to check it out. Current events, politics. If you hate that, then stick with this, because we have myself, Mr. Goody 2.0. Unfortunately, Elwood wasn't here today. I think he's a little bit busy. He's moving, doing stuff, about to be getting married. I'm going to be in that wedding, so that's coming up pretty soon next weekend. So shout out to them. Congratulations, you guys. We'll see what happens. Fuck the Cowboys. I've calmed down a little bit, but man, quit talking shit. It's going to be a good game, but stop it. Stop disrespecting this Eagles team that is 5-0, has a great offense, has a great defense, and is leading the way in a lot of other leading the way in the league in a lot of fields on offense and defense. That to just completely disregard them is asinine, stupid, incorrigible, and honestly, like, at the end of the day, I'm fine with it because I feel like you're putting fire in Jordan Davis's big old belly. Big belly. Well, I appreciate y'all stopping by. Like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever. If you don't, cool. It's all good, man. This is just a lot of fun. Angry Black Quarterback, and I was actually mad this time to start. We're getting somewhere. You guys be good. Take it easy. Stay out of trouble. And as always, stay safe. Peace.
Go Eagles. Go Eagles. Go Eagles.